Exactly 1 year ago, Hamas orchestrated one of the deadliest attacks on Israel, firing thousands of rockets and subsequently breaching the Gaza border. During the onslaught, Hamas terrorists attacked neighborhoods and went on a rampage at a music festival, killing as many as 1,200 Israelis, injuring hundreds of others and taking over 250 people hostage, of which 101 are waiting to be released. 42,000 Palestinians have been killed in the past 1 year. The damage to human life is difficult to digest. Unfortunately, nothing has improved in the past 365 days. The situation is deteriorating day by day, minute by minute, and the regional conflict risks spiraling with Iran's 180 ballistic missile attack. The country claims that this was a revenge attack for the killing of Hezbollah chief Nasrallah. Well, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made it abundantly clear that this decision was a big mistake. Israel has conducted sporadic attacks in Lebanon. Not only that, Hezbollah has launched almost 130 projectiles on Israel's third largest city, Haifa. These are the developments that are taking place. It has been 1 year since the Israel-Hamas war began. In fact, joining us at this point of time is a very special guest. We're being joined by Eli Nash, Deputy Mayor of Ashdod. So thank you so much for taking out time and speaking to us on NewsX. Now, of course, the past 12 months have been harrowing for people in Israel. But if you could also, tell us, what has it been like? What have your friends, family and people in Israel seen and witnessed?
Right now, when we are speaking, just right now, thank you very much for joining me to this interview. 5 rockets been shot into center of Israel from Gaza Strip, just right now on the civilian population. So we need to understand it's not something that happened far away and long time ago. This is something that is going on right now while we are speaking. People, civilians are under attack constantly, daily, in the north, in the south, in the center of Israel. And of course, we are here to commemorate on this day of 7th of October, where is a sort of a Holocaust happened towards Israel, and hundreds of people been slaughtered and raped and kidnapped just because of them being in Israel. It's not even just because of them being Jews, because some of the people that been killed and kidnapped were even Muslims or Bedouins, and just because they thought that they are pro-Israeli and they've been in the place of Israel, this was enough for the terrorists to take them down. So right now we are trying to do a work that, in my opinion, is a work for the benefit of the free world, for the benefit of all the countries who wants to live peacefully. And we are trying to disarm the terrorist organizations like Hamas, like Hezbollah, who is threatening the peace in the Middle East and all around the world. This is a well-known, world-recognized terrorist organization that was recognized as a terror organization, not just by Israel, by the whole world community. So what we are trying to do right now is trying to fight the world terrorist organizations that been financed and been created by Iran, because this is our biggest problem. And this is for the first time during this war, for the first time ever, that Iran actually took her mask off, and instead of operating through their proxy as Hezbollah, Hamas, Yemen, the Houthis in Yemen, they've been actually firing and missiling rockets at Israel by itself. And this is for the first time that we can see the aggression of Iran towards Israel, towards other nations. And I think this is our big challenge, next big challenge, after Hezbollah, after Hamas, because we hope that Hamas and Hezbollah will stop existing as terrorist organizations. And we want to thank the whole free world who is actually being recruited to help Israel to defend herself and defend all the other nations from their threat. But the next challenge is actually going to be Iran and their nuclear program that is being advanced while we are speaking. And this nuclear program, of course, is a big problem not just for Israel, it's a big problem for all the nations. Just a few days ago, we heard that Iran is threatening Saudi Arabia and Emirates and other countries, not just Israel, and of course, constantly threatening United States and other Western countries. So we need to think together what we are trying to do and how we can combine our forces and combine our efforts together in order to fight this enemy, the enemy of peace. I was really disappointed just a few days ago to hear President Macron, the president of France, saying that he would like to he's not actually being sending weapons to Israel, but he wants to, he announced that he wished to declare an embargo on exporting weapons to Israel. We understand the bond between France and Lebanon. Lebanon was a colony of France, but right now we are not fighting Lebanon as Lebanon, we are fighting terrorist organizations. And I really said that France let Lebanon being kidnapped by these terror organizations, and this terror organization Hezbollah took over Lebanon, and right now France, instead of trying to help us fight the terror organization, is actually promoting those terror organizations, defending them, and stopping us from doing our work to defend our civilians. So this is what's going on right now in Israel, and we of course have a lot of ceremonies right now going on. Me myself, I've been in a cemetery today. There's many people who've been killed on the 7th of October, as you probably know.
Yes.
And we are mourning for all those people who've been killed just because of them being Jews or just because of them being in Israel.
Right, absolutely. Of course, it is a very difficult day for the people of Israel. But, you know, as we speak, there are 101 hostages who are yet to be released. We don't know what condition they're in, whether they have amenities or not. We don't have that information. And with that being said, what are the efforts that are then being, what are the efforts that are being made in order to bring back those hostages? What is the mindset with which the Israeli Prime Minister is now approaching the war, considering the fact that it's now become a seven-front war?
I think the idea of the State of Israel is, first of all, try to somehow dissolve the threat of all these organizations, and those negotiations on the hostages needs to be made and started when the enemy is in a weak position, not in the place where we are going towards enemy's conditions. And right now we are doing all we can to, of course, disarm and demolish the enemy, while there are diplomatic efforts that are trying to take place, some of them through third sides, some of them directly maybe. We don't know exactly what's going on, but of course we all of us are very, very worried about the situation of the hostages, and we understand that their time is limited, and we need to do as much as possible, as soon as possible, to get them free. And that's why all the efforts and all the pressure around the world needs to be on the Hamas and their associates, not on Israel, because unfortunately the UN and some other countries just don't understand the situation, and they are trying to pressure the wrong side. We want our hostages back, we want to disarm all these terror organizations, and we need the whole world, the whole free world, to be on our side and make the right pressure at the right direction. Not to pressure Israel from stop fighting, but to pressure Hamas and all those terrorists to bring those hostages, release them and bring them home, and stop their arming as they're doing right now, and keep firing all over Israeli cities and civilians. So I really hope that we will live to see all these hostages coming back home. I have to say that I'm not that optimistic that all 101 hostages will stay alive and will be healthy and could get back home. Unfortunately, we are understanding the situation and we are understanding that they are keeping them there, and maybe some of them are already dead, just to keep these cards for the next negotiations, so they will have something in their hands in order to get something from us. This is the only reason why they are holding them. But we need the whole world, and I'm approaching from here and I'm crying out loud for the whole world to, after 1 year of a war, after 1 year of terror attacks all over Israel, we need the pressure of the world community onto Hamas to bring these hostages home, to stop their shooting, to stop their aggression. And I hope that the leaders of the free world will do what they have to do in order to bring peace to the Middle East.
Right, absolutely. I'd also like to understand from you. Now, since Iran's unprecedented attacks, do you believe the war has now protracted? And if so, what is the larger message that you want to share with the world?
I think that the act of war of Iran could not go without reaction from the Israeli side. I think that the Israeli reaction has to be very hard. I want that it will be not just Israel reaction. I want it to be Israel and our partners as United States and as other countries to go to Iran and deliver the message, a very hard message, that you don't mess with the free world. You don't mess with democratic states. And you don't bring terror and spread terror all over the world. So I think we need to bring a big hit to Iran nuclear program. We need to bring down some infrastructures of energy, gas, oil. We need to give a big punch to the Ayatollah's regime, which is dictatorship and is very radical regime that is threatening very bad for their own people, not just the terror around the world. And I really hope that after this hit and after this message will be delivered, Iran will take a few steps back and they will understand that they need to calm down. The reason why they're still being so aggressive, because nobody gave a lesson to them. Nobody ever hit Iran in the place where it hurts. We always been dealing with their proxy in Lebanon, in Yemen, in Gaza, proxies all over the world, terror proxies that they created in order that nobody will get to the Iran itself. Nowadays, we need to hit in the heart of the terror in Tehran, and we need to give a very, very painful, big hit to their regime. And this is, in my opinion, what will maybe will deliver the right message and try to calm them down and try to somehow stop their spreading of terror all over the world and in the Middle East. That's what, in my opinion, needs to be done. In the Middle East, only the powerful, only the one with the strength is actually has the right to exist. Unfortunately, it's not Europe. We need to show our strength. We need to show that we are not afraid. We need to show we are ready to sacrifice. We need to show that we have all the power and it could be used against those people in the same level as in the same thing it was used against the leaders of Hezbollah as Nasrallah, in the leaders of Hamas. Nobody is secure. Also in Iran, nobody will be secure. No one. Everyone who is trying to hurt Israel and the Jewish nation and the free world will be punished badly and severely.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.